What's up my Giggle Gang? Today I will be showing you guys how to make a simple, working bonfire system in vanilla Minecraft Bedrock without mods. This is an updated video for my bonfire command system. Today I'm also using an AI voice because recording in my own home is embarrassing as hell, not gonna lie. Okay, to get started, place a dispenser in the ground facing upwards and put flint and steel inside. Then use an anvil and rename a campfire as bonfire and place the campfire on top of the dispenser. Quick tip, use a shovel to extinguish the campfire to turn it off. Next, place a stone pressure plate directly in front of the campfire. Under the pressure plate, place 8 command blocks and copy the commands as shown. The first 2 commands are simple. The third command block gives the player a tag for the bonfire they just activated. The tag is only used to turn on the light above the activated bonfire in the warp room I made. For the next 2 commands, do /fill to delete the first pressure plate and spawn in the second one next to the bonfire. The next command is for setting the nearest player's spawn point. The next command gives the player instant health and fully heals the nearest player. The last command is just adding a number to one of my scoreboards to reset it. This is optional. Once your next pressure plate summons correctly onto the block you want, do the same command set up under the block and copy the commands as shown. I think in Dark Souls, the Estus Flask regenerates the player's health kinda like an instant health potion in Minecraft, so the last 2 commands under the warp plate clears the used bottle in the player's inventory and gives the player a new instant health potion. This is just a simple design. As you can see, after the warp plate has been summoned using /fill, you can teleport into your personally built warp room. The warp room is used to teleport to other bonfires the player has lit across the world, and a light will activate above the lit bonfire. If a bonfire hasn't been lit yet, the light will stay off and the title and sound effect will show on screen. To activate the light, use a redstone line like this as shown, which connects the test 4 command block to the light. This simple command checks if there's a player with the tag bonfire test within the world. Bonfire test is just the name I used for the bonfire to distinguish between different locations the player activated. This first tower of commands checks if the player has the tag. If the player does have the tag, teleport the player back to the bonfire they activated, use a custom sound command of your choice, give player blindness as an added warp effect, and make a title command shown on screen. If the player hasn't lit the bonfire yet and doesn't have the tag, make a title command pop up and give a negative sound effect. The commands after this are for my homeward bone dust item. When the player drops this item, it teleports the player back to the bonfire they recently warped to. This is for my adventure map, so you can ignore the long line of commands. Let me know if you want a tutorial for that too in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching this quick tutorial. Let me know if this was helpful or if you'd like a simpler design. Sub and join my dead Discord server lol.